How much are interest rates now? Charlotte, North Carolina, or Fort Mill, South Carolina? This greater Charlotte region, wow, we're hearing things that you're hearing wherever you are. And if you've been considering relocating to the greater Charlotte area, this is going to be helpful to you. I'm Roger Holloway with ProStead Realty. You go to rogerholloway.com and see this site. Last week, I did a little blip on YouTube from the Charlotte Business Journal article that said, "Is a housing bubble brewing in Charlotte?" Now, I want to talk about interest rates and give you a tool that I think will help you. But in this CBJ article, my boss, the owner of my firm, co-owner with his wife, Mitch Muller, said, "We're not in a housing bubble at all. That's different from what happened during the last recession." He said, "What we have now is supply-demand issue driving the prices up because of lack of inventory." So you got prices going up, right? That's a little bit scary, been difficult to buy. The team of buyer agents that I lead, basically they're working harder than ever to help you prevail either in a bidding war or a wait for new construction, or, you know, how much do you, Rodney Jones said something very clever. I said, "Rodney, I got somebody that wants a YouTube subscriber. They want to know how to win the bidding war over at such and such community." He goes, "I know exactly how to win the bidding war." "Really?" He said, "Yeah, just bid more than everybody else." Rodney. But I saw an article, I did print it out, from Movement Mortgage. It's a great local lender. Really, they're national, because it's very easy if you type in Google how much are mortgage rates now. You got some big players like Quicken Loans and Rocket Mortgage. That's the same thing, I think, that are, you know, vying for your attention there. And, you know, Quicken's got a big presence here in Charlotte. So we just like local lenders, somebody that I like to say somebody I can get my hands around their neck on the day of closing if need be. So just some national lender, even if they are based in Charlotte, you know, it's your preference. But this article from Movement Mortgage today, I'm just going to recap it. I'm going to read a few select lines. It says mortgage interest rates, and then I'm going to give you a tool from TrueLiant that I think will help you. So the Movement says mortgage interest rates are now surpassing 5% for some borrowers. Now, for those of you that are not as old as me, and you know, we've seen 10% double-digit interest rates and higher, no doubt. But they are now surpassing 5% for some borrowers. Latest Freddie Mac 30-year fixed-rate mortgage average comes in at 4.72. Mortgage rates have increased 1.5 percentage points over the last 3 months alone, Freddie Mac's economists say. I'm going to say it again, increased 1.5 percentage points over the last 3 months. So you've got supply and demand pushing housing pricing up, and then you've got mortgage rates going up. So that's a squeeze on both sides. You haven't dealt with this mortgage thing till recently. And I'm not trying to push in any way, but, you know, 5% ain't bad. So and we can find out. We're going to get some tools that will empower you. Movement Mortgage goes on to say that mortgage interest rates depend on a lot of factors: credit score, down payment, and type of loan. High interest rates paired with quickly appreciating home prices mean that a lot of potential home buyers could be priced out of the market. You probably feel that way. Some of you don't, you're right. So it's possible that demand will wane. This is an interesting thought, that demand will wane significantly enough to allow for more supply. So that could be good if, again, if demand comes down and then supply could trickle back up. So then they finally said that the Fed instituted its first rate hike in 3 years in March. Wow. And the FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee, their next meeting is May 3rd, and they're likely that they will vote to raise rates. So that's just financially. The best thing for me to do is to get you in touch with a lender. My team, Rodney Jones, has his own lender that he likes, Denise O'Farrell, Donnie Morris, and Joe Top. Every real estate agent has a lender or two that they like real well. And they like them not because we get anything back except really good service for our clients. Because if we can't get you a loan, help you get a loan, then we may not be able to help you get a house. So I'm saying all that to say, let's go over, and by the way, here at rogerholloway.com, There are all kinds of tools here, including if you wanted to scroll down where it says Newcomer, Schools and Communities Guide here. There's so much more there than Schools and Communities Guide. I want to talk about a mortgage calculator here in just a second, but if you've never scrolled through there, nearly 700 pages of local information, schools, neighborhoods, the small towns around Charlotte, tax rates, combined municipal and county tax rates, that's the number you need, etc. So go to rogerholley.com, look for that, or you can scroll down. Most every page has a video. Can I recreate that? How do I do that? Okay. I'm so vain, right? I probably think this website is about me. If you go all the way down to the footer on any page, you'll see that Schools and Communities Guide. That's the same link. Well, let's dive up here over to TrueLiant. And the reason I wanted to go to TrueLiant, in fact, let's just go to their front page there, TrueLiant Federal Credit Union. There's one up at Waverly, which is exit 57, South Charlotte. There's one over in Matthews, Southeast Charlotte. There's one over in Mint Hill. Brent Surratt, who you might recognize if you're a golf fan, his son is one of the top youth golfers in the nation right now. Brent, I've known him for a lot of years in terms of him working on loans with TrueLiant Federal Credit Union. This could be a good bet for you because that's not a for-profit. You know, Quicken's for profit, Movement's for profit, Wells Fargo, B of A, very much for, don't get me started on the soapbox on those guys. But TrueLiant, it's a nonprofit. So you basically are become one of the owners once you become a member. So that could be a good place, you know, to go for you to find out. So if I wanted to go and learn, let's see here. I wanted to learn about home ownership, right? They've got a lot of interesting articles and whatnot on that. But in terms of mortgage calculator, where do I find that? Learn calculators. There we go. Learn, and then you go to the mortgage calculator. This might be a good place to get a car loan too. All right, so you got a mortgage calculator. So you come up and you say, all right, how much can I afford? And how do these interest rates affect me? Again, Maya Angelou said, if you know better, you do better. It's basically paraphrase. So let's just say your purchase price was $600 and you were going to put down 5%. Now think about it. That's 30 grand. When it says show details, if you look at this, basically, you're going to have private mortgage insurance, PMI or just MI. That's a hefty part of your payment right there, and they're estimating property taxes and insurance. They want to escrow that. They want to take it out every month so that at the end of the year, they're going to make sure that it gets paid. They want the house to stay insured for their own personal benefit, right? And they want their taxes to be paid and so on. So let's just say that's your payment if you're putting down 5%. What if you want to avoid PMI? Then you put down 20%. Now, sometimes there are other programs, but look what it did to your payment. Look how much you eliminated that much. So your principal and interest, so this is PI and then TI. Principal and interest, property taxes and insurance. So that's pretty much your total payment, 30-year term. As Bill Saint from Classica Homes famously said, nobody spends 30 years in a home typically, so does that matter? Does that number really matter in terms of the purchase price, or does the total payment what really matters? You go into a car dealership, they say, what do you want your payment to be? And then they'll find you the car that fits into that. And that's a good way for us to get you in front of a lender. I just want you to see today that bottom line is if the housing prices are going up, purchase price, and the rates are going up, right? The interest rates are going up. Now, this is at 6%. I was just playing around with the calculator myself. Let's say it's 4%. And so now you went down to 26 and change for your total payment. So see what a difference a couple of points make. So that's 4%. If you went 5%, your total payment's $2,900. So you're up about $300. If you're going up to 6%, then your total payment goes up to $3,232. But that's with you putting $120,000 down. Not a lot of people have $120,000 to put down on a $600,000 purchase. Maybe you do. If you do, great. There are other ways to avoid PMI. So having a personal look at your scenario could be helpful. And here's why I say that, because a good loan officer will take a look at your full picture and give you a feel for, hey, what is your time frame? How long do you think you're going to be in this house? Case in point, I took somebody to Gary McLeod, great loan officer, a few years ago. These were doctors husband and wife just going in, just got out of medical school. Well, they're going to be making a good amount for the first 5 years, but then 5 years they're going to start making a lot more. So he structured their loan in such a way that it's basically with a window of, a 6-year arm in mind, because they knew they were going to buy something bigger later. So you want somebody that will ask you those kinds of questions, and each one of my agents will have somebody to do that. Now, again, that's a lot of money to put down, 20%. So let's just go back to 5, and let's just talk about interest rates themselves right now. So some of you got lulled to sleep when there was 3%, right? You said, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait. So if you could put 30 grand down on a $600,000 purchase and you're paying 4%, there you go. That is your principal and interest and your property taxes and insurance and your PMI. Again, just to point it out, if you could literally put down 20%, if you could find a way to do that, then that's going to change things. It's going to change some things around here for you to be able to do that. And then you've got that other piece of the pie completely eliminated. But let's just say that you're putting down 5. Hope I'm not going too fast, but go to trueliantfcu.org or, Quicken Movement. They'll all have mortgage calculators. So now you're 5 years, 600. If the rate goes up to 4.5, you're going from a total payment of that to a total payment. Did it already go up? No, that's 4. Let's just say you go up to 4.5. So it went up to that. All right. So now, if it goes up to 5, let's just say it goes up to 5%, then there's your payment. So do you want to keep, let's see, wait a minute, 5%. There's your payment. Do you want to mess around with this and let this thing fool around? Because again, I mentioned that 10% number. What if it does fool around and goes to 10%? There's your payment now, all right? So again, affordability. So let's just say that the interest rate is coming up to 5. That's what we saw, that mortgage rates are now surpassing 5% for some borrowers. A lot of factors there. So again, here's what you can do. You can go back to TrueLiant and you can look for the loan officer that I had mentioned to you. And let's just say that, where would I find him? Where would I find you, Brent Surratt? Say you want to borrow, and you want to borrow on a mortgage loan, and then you want to find the loan officers. So let's get personalized rates. Let's see here, guys. How am I doing? I'm not doing so well right now. I'm having trouble finding my loan officer. Get personalized rates based on your this, that, and the other. Here we go, loan officers. There's Brent Surratt right there. When you find loan officers, go to Brent Surratt. I like him again because I can get my arms around his neck if need be, and you can apply right there and meet with him. He can either meet you up at Waverly, he could meet you over in Matthews, he could meet you up in Mint Hill, and if you're out of town, it just, he can meet you when you come to town, but that's a good resource for you to compare. If you're buying a new construction home, we do like talking to and applying with the lender of that builder, seeing what their rate is, and they're going to give you some closing costs, but their rate's probably going to be padded a little higher. Nothing like free money. Now here at TrueLiant, because it's not a for-profit organization, that's going to be very likely to your benefit. So you could reach out to Brent and Brent Surratt under loan officers, Brent Surratt at trueliantfcu.org. trueliantfcu.org. And if I've helped you today, and I think I have, hit that subscribe button, couple it with a phone call to either Brent, or you can just apply right there online, or call me at 704-345-3400. I just would hate to see you lose an opportunity, because we're trying to make relocating to Charlotte easy for you. Understanding the scenarios around rising interest rates and rising home ownership rates. Brent, by the way, when I first met him years ago, he was doing new home sales. So he gets the game that way. And his son's quite a golfer, so he gets that game as well. Which you're at RogerHolloway.com. You can do a search right here. Lots of great search criteria that you can search by school district, subdivision, zip code, etc. And then you can sign up for alerts, blah, blah, blah. Click here. You're going to go to my YouTube channel, 2,500 YouTube videos, 2,500 YouTube videos by clicking there. And I'd love to shoot a video for you to help you in the purchase process. All right, guys, I will talk to you in the next video.